We don't have a official clock on the wall, but my phone says it's 7 o'clock, so I'll call this meeting to order. Good evening and welcome to the June 17th edition of the Planning Commission. We are a advisory board to the Board of Commissioners. Any decision that we make here tonight will be forwarded to the BOC for final action. So tonight's agenda and sign-up sheets were out back. I've got sign-up sheets here, but if you missed that, you can still raise your hand when I ask for speakers. Here's how we usually run these things. The planning department is going to introduce each proposal and their recommendations on the request. We'll have input from the petitioner and petitioner's representative, and at that time, when they're finished, I'll ask anybody who wants to speak in favor of the request to go ahead and say their piece at that time. Then I'll stop that and ask for anybody that wants to speak in opposition. Both of those time blocks, we try to limit it to 20 minutes and ask you to not repeat too many things. We'll then close the public comment section and bring it up to these guys and girls to make a final decision on, and then we'll make a motion and vote on these to forward on. So as I said, we'll invite anybody who wants to speak to come to the podium. We'll ask you to give us your name and your address when you come up to the podium. Address your comments up here to those of us at the front of the room. And if more than one of you wants to speak on the same subject, ask if you would add new points. You can say ditto to the last speaker and then go on with your new points if you have any. And then we ask the audience to extend courtesy to anybody speaking by not applauding or commenting from their seats about any of the speakers. So with that, my commissioners, I ask you, did you have a chance to read the minutes from last meeting? And are there any corrections or additions that we can make? Don't see anybody getting my attention, so I'll ask who would like to make a motion that we approve these minutes.
Motion approved.
All right, Nick.
I'll second.
Nick and Nathan. And then I'll ask everyone else that approves, please raise your right hand. Thank you. All right, with that, the first item on our agenda is P24-014.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Again, this is rezone P24-0014, Barak Zuckerman, owner and applicant. This is a portion of parcel B060298. It's currently zoned AR in the Civic Center character area. And the request is to rezone from AR to B2 to develop a 16-lot commercial subdivision with a proposed 174,500 square feet of commercial buildings. You have a recorded plat in your packets, and then the concept plan as well, a slightly larger version showing the layout of the lots and the interparcel access and road network. These are the architectural renderings that you have submitted in your application. And staff recommends conditional approval with our standard 3 conditions. With number 4, the development shall be limited to 60,000 square feet of building area until a second entrance is obtained to meet the requirement for 2 fire apparatus access roads unless all buildings up to 124,000 square feet are equipped throughout with approved automatic sprinkler systems. Number 5, interparcel access stub outs and an easement to the north along the entrance drive shall be shown on the preliminary and final plat and site development plans. The northern interparcel access will be constructed with a temporary cul-de-sac meeting the requirements of section 100802. The private access drive shall allow interparcel legal platted access to parcels to the north of the rezoning area through to the GDOT right of way to the south of the rezoning area. Number 6, all proposed buildings shall have a facade of predominantly brick, stone, or glass, 80%. Accent materials are allowed as indicated in UDC section 30603. And number 7, the following uses shall be excluded: dollar stores, variety stores, 5 and dime, massage therapy establishment, car, motorcycle, recreational vehicle, and boat dealers, pawn shop, cigar and tobacco stores, including vape shops and electronic cigarette stores, tattoo parlors, and used merchandise stores. Thank you.
Thank you. So I had Billy Hartman. Line up.
Hey, my name is Billy Harvin, live at 2921 Mead Circle, Marietta, Georgia. And I'm here to represent Brock Zuckerman. He had a trip that was, and so here to represent the applicant. So really to address if there's any questions for the applicant, but overall, we're excited to work with the county and the community on this project. And the planning department's been great to work with over the last 3 or 4 months. Really, Guy did a great job presenting the project. And I would can certainly reiterate some of the things, but we want to do a nice project here. We do have some national guys that have architectural prototypes that we might have to deviate from an architectural theme that we want to have across the entire development, whether stone, brick, stucco, but plan on doing something very nice here that looks like it makes sense.
We'll call you up if we have any further questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I don't have anybody else that's signed up to speak on behalf of that, but take hands if you want. Right, I don't see anybody getting my attention. Is there anyone that needs to speak in opposition? I didn't have anybody sign up there either. All right, we don't have to use up full 20 minutes, so, but I'll go in once, go in twice. All right, I'll close the public comment period and bring it up here to you commissioners. Any questions that you need answered?
Yeah, let me ask a point of clarification. You were mentioning some national standards for, if you come back to the podium, please. You're mentioning some of the stores and so forth that you're looking at have national design standards. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Is that what he's proposing here as far as the limitations on the facades? Does that create issues for some of your design?
We have not created the architectural theme for the project yet. It's very common to do stone and stucco, stone, brick, and stucco, and glass is the major elements. There are some new materials that are coming out that are very nice as well. Stucco and ephes are not mentioned in the as one of the materials on one of the comments. So that would be one that I would like to that we could add. But we do plan on, even with their national prototypes, to have them to incorporate either a color of brick or type of brick into their prototype. So it's not just their prototype. That's the goal.
Well, I have to say, you're talking to the wrong person if you're talking about stucco. I don't like
You don't like stucco?
but that's neither here nor there at this point. But yes, I appreciate
It's nice
that. I
that-
do notice that the other, in other communities where there are strict architectural standards, that the local ordinances predominate over sort of a standard storefront. So do you object to that?
We want to adapt to the code of Oconee County. So
Local
code.
local community?
That's right.
Very well. Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions?
I was just wondering, was there a mention of sidewalks?
They should be shown on the site plan, but they will be required in commercial developments.
Well, Guy, before you leave, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Because they will only have that one access from through the QT or whatever happens over there. Do they put the sidewalks to the external side of this project or?
There will not be sidewalks along 441. That is a limited access.
Just making sure that out. All right, any more questions? Clarification? Another minute, and I'll start fishing for a motion.
move to approve it with staff recommendation.
Right, Jeff's making a motion to approve with the conditions added by staff. Do I have a second? Nathan got it first. And so now, if you approve with staff conditions, please raise your right hand. Right? And if you disapprove without staff conditions. All right, well, that does get approved. It was on to Board of Commissioners for final decision.
Your next case is rezone P 24 0032 Lifemark Development LLC, applicant and owner. This is parcel B 02109 AA at Mars Hill Road and Julian Drive. It's currently zoned R1 in the regional center character area. And the request is a rezone from R1 to OIP for an office development at the intersection. This is the recorded plat in your application, the concept plan, showing the proposed building with parking. Again, the concept plan. And these are the architectural renderings submitted with the application. And staff recommends conditional approval with our 3 standard conditions. And then number 4, the office building shall be limited to 24,000 square feet. Number 5, the proposed building shall have a facade of predominantly brick and stone, 80%. And number 6, the office building shall have a pitched hip or well-hipped roof. Number 7, per previous Public Works Department review, an ADA ramp must be provided at the intersection of Mars Hill Road and Julian Drive for the future sidewalk extension across Julian Drive. Number 8, an updated traffic impact study shall be submitted with the preliminary site plan as required by the Director of Public Works. Number 9, a deceleration lane is required as indicated by the 3/15/2023 traffic impact study by A&R Engineering, which has the same ADT as the current proposal. And number 10, the entrance drive shall shift to the north to accommodate the design and installation of a deceleration lane that does not conflict with the Mars Hill Road and Julian Drive intersection. Thank you.
Got it. All right, so I see Mr. Milliner signed up. Are you going to speak on behalf of the project?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
First, I just want to introduce myself. I've been in Oconee County for 20 years, the president of Roanoke Homeowners Association, also on the Architectural Control Committee there. So I understand a lot of what you do, and I definitely appreciate it. You get a lot of bullets and darts from people, and I've been in the same position. So I say that 20 years. I've also got a farm at the end of Malcolm Bridge. I don't plan on going anywhere. I plan on being here the rest of my life. I've got an 18-year-old, 15-year-old, and a 1-year-old little girl. Our kids go to school at Prince Avenue, and we plan on seeing them through for the next 18 years. My wife wants to build on our farm at the end of Malcolm Bridge Road. The purpose of this land is for me to move my office from Lawrenceville, Georgia, where I've got 40,000 square feet, 100 plus employees there. Many of the employees now live in Oconee County. We've been hiring in this area. I love this county. I don't want it to change a lot, but I would love for my office to be close so I don't have such a big commute. This will end up being one of the nicer offices in Oconee County. I've been in Fort St. Bentley. This is a beautiful building. Kevin Price has a beautiful building. I've looked at it. My goal is to make a very nice building so the employees have a very nice office to work in, and our customers do. And the reason for saying all that is I plan on being here 30, 40 years. This is not a development for me to flip, have a lot of tenants. Engineers will talk, and there's traffic studies and things that I think are overinflated with the size of this building. I don't think we'll have 600 plus cars adding traffic to this road. I think it may be an extra 150 to 200. We originally had office warehouse attached to this. I bought a different property for that, mainly for storage, cars, boats. We do a little bit of printing for insurance mailers. but that's now at a different facility. So this is strictly professional office, very nice. But I definitely appreciate your time today. And I just wanted to say that so you know who I am and what my plans are long-term with this. And then I'll let the engineers talk and take all the darts from you. So, thank you.
Thank you. So this engineer, is that Clayton? Yeah. Okay.
Good evening. Clayton Honeycutt with Quarter Engineering, 1010 Commerce Drive, Bogart, Georgia, 30622. Phone number 770-725-1200. And like Chad said, we are the engineering firm that's helping with the rezone. I think he did a great job kind of explaining the project and the fact that we went through the zoning process one time before and there was a warehouse component that's been taken out. So, you know, the site plan that you guys have all seen, that's kind of the updated plan for rezone. It meets, I think, everything for the use. There's probably only one or two items I'd like to talk about once the comment's been closed. But I think taking out the warehouse component has made this a very viable project in the area. So with that, I'll wait for your guys' questions.
Well, as it happens, we don't have anyone else signed up in favor. Is there anyone that needs to speak in favor of this project? Okay. No one's trying to get my attention, so I'll ask, is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition to this request? Yeah, and I'm not seeing anybody trying to get my attention. So I will close the public comment. I will ask Clayton, do you want to give us those last things that you want us to think about?
After discussion with the owner, we are in agreement with all of the conditions. The one we did want to discuss would be number 6, which is the office building should have a pitched hip or well-hipped roof. All of the representative pictures from the architecture in the packet for the rezone are showing a parapet wall roof with just a sloped roof, which basically you will see no roof at that point. So that is what the owner wishes to be able to build that type of building, just like the ones that are in the application.
Okay. Well, I will leave that one floating until I
Sure.
find out how my colleagues feel.
Sure.
Right? Thank you.
Yep.
All right, so colleagues, do you have any other questions? And think about that roof question.
I would like to raise a question then with the staff about the well-hipped roof. If there's a particular value to that?
Yes, sir. That would be in keeping with the other roofs in the area. So if you look around, I don't know if we have that on there.
I'm familiar with the office park across the street there.
That's right. Across the street, the church is behind, across the street. There you go. All have these sloped roofs, just even the office complex up here. And so we were trying to stay in keeping with those other roofs in the area and allowing the well hip, right? The well is in the middle where the air conditioning HVAC units can go, right? So around, it will appear as it's a sloped roof, but it's not a fully sloped roof.
I see. Very good. That's very perceptive. Thank you.
Yes.
Anybody have any other questions? Doesn't have to be limited to the roof.
I'm just worried about the traffic flow in that area, especially with school in the morning, after school. I've been in that area multiple times. And then people cutting across, I don't know if they can still do it, but the highway there to sneak in and go down to the middle school, and then across to the high school, so.
Well-
I just think the traffic study.
Eventually, the GDOT promises they're gonna sort that out for us and there won't be a access to 316 if they carry on with their plans. But Yeah, the daycare center is the one that jams it up the most. I was the bus driver. Saw that every morning. All right, anybody else?
Are we, I never understood the whole roof thing. Are we talking about the same thing? Is his proposal in keeping with the hip roof or the roof? Are we talking about, are they all the same?
What, I'll let the guy explain it.
Yeah, if the question, it was, his application actually shows a parapet roof. So it's essentially a flatter, slightly sloped roof behind a wall, so that you don't see any pitched roof.
Is that in keeping with your?
No, no, with that, that's our condition. And our condition is, if you'll notice, his roof is a flat roof with a wall around it. It doesn't appear to be pitched, right? So thus our condition of number 6, it shall have either a pitched roof or a pitched roof with a well in the middle, meaning an opening in the middle. So that it would be in keeping with the surrounding structures.
Of course, everything that we do is passed up to the board of commissioners, so if you have a preference one way or another, we can state it here and send it on. So
What are you calling the motion, Mr. Chairman?
I am working you up towards that, yeah. So is there a motion out there?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the petition, recommend approval for the petition with the staff conditions as written.
So Jim's making a approval with all of the conditions.
As written.
As written. All conditions, okay.
I'll second.
All right, Nick second it. So now I need to see a right hand for anyone that wants to agree with that motion. All right, so that's unanimous and we'll send it on up that way. All right, so that is all the business that we had for today. And I don't think we have any other concerns that need to be in the public meeting, so I will ask for a motion to adjourn. So moved. Nathan makes motion.
I'll second.
And Nick. All right. Thank you.